So the paper is called Keeping Up with the Jonases because the idea is that people do care about how they're standing relative to others, and they want to keep up with their peers. So what I'm doing in this paper is to exploit this fact with micro-entrepreneurs. So the idea is that micro-entrepreneurs in Mozambique generally operate on a very low productivity level. So they sell the same type of goods for ages, they don't really grow, they don't invest, they take very little profit out of these firms. And the question is, what can we do to support them? So a general notion was always that those people actually only need capital or skills, and then they would, know what to do best with these inputs and just invest and grow further. This hasn't been very successful in the past, and now the idea of my paper is to say, what if we challenge this notion in the first place and say, is this actually true? Is it actually true that they couldn't do better by just changing their behavior? So in order to nudge them into any possible changes, I exploit the keeping up with the Jonases effect, which is, if I tell you that you're not doing very well, most likely you will change your behavior to be able to do well. So I have a set of micro-entrepreneurs in Mozambique, and then I do a randomized control trial, which means part of the group is going to be allocated to a treatment and part of the group is going to be allocated to a control group that doesn't get any additional information. The treatment group receives information about the entrepreneur-specific ranking in a group of peers of the sector that this entrepreneur is working in. So all I'm showing them is literally a list of 10 people where they can identify themselves and see their position. And then what I find is, once I have done this 1 year after, those people that have seen themselves in the bottom of the distribution, so those people that learn that they're actually not doing very well, change their behavior, and as a consequence, they increase their sales and revenue and profits substantially. So those that increase their profits are actually able to close the gap to those that have been formerly in the top by about 40%. And then two channels that I exploit that I think can explain at least part of this change is their individual effort in their corporation. So I asked them how many hours they work per day in their companies, and I find that those in the bottom are much more likely to have worked more hours than those that are in the bottom but haven't received information about their ranking. And I do find that those that have learned about their negative ranking actually are way more pro-social to their business network. So what this means is these entrepreneurs understand that if they want to keep up with their Jonases and be doing better, then they have to change their behavior. They put more effort. I understand this as them becoming more productive, and they turn towards their business network. So they turn towards their colleagues and their Jonases to ask them, what can I do better? They learn from each other, and by increasing their cooperation, they are actually able to run their businesses better in the sense that they have higher revenues.